Jump ball, what's going on?
Right now, it's machine versus momentum. Trump certainly has momentum. The polls are tightening nationally in a lot of these swing states. And Clinton is trying to activate that machine and get as many votes in the bank as she can and keep those firewalls in some of those battleground states.
Now, Tom, I saw yesterday, I think Chris Liza took your Real Clear Politics averages, and right now he said Trump's at about 235, 238, 239. Is that correct?
Actually, North Carolina moved this morning. We had a poll drop last night that had Trump up 7. That shifted the average. So if you actually take our no toss-up map right now, I think Trump's at like 259 and Clinton's at 279, I think.
So in the Real Clear Politics average today, this morning, Clinton 279, Trump 259. That is pretty surprising. Quite a change in a week.
So let's dig into this.
It's almost as if a week is a lifetime in politics.
Let's dig into this. Just 6 days left, and a new poll has the race in a dead heat. The Washington Post ABC News tracking poll just released shows Trump and Hillary Clinton tied in a four-way race at 46% each. Yesterday, Trump was up 46 to 45.
Hold it now. You said he's like a Molotov cocktail. And then Donald Trump tweeted at you, "I agree, Michael." To all Americans, I see you and I hear you. I am your voice. Vote to drain the swamp.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing about him. He has no filters. And the fact that he would acknowledge what I'm trying to point out to people, that he is intending to blow up the system.
Right, and you're right.
He tweets me, he's a self-acknowledged anarchist who plans to go in there and just blow things up. So I think this is something that we need to be very concerned about. The other part of this, though, too, is all those things you listed about every time something bad happens to him, he dips for a second, but then he just gets stronger. I can't remember the name of that science fiction film from the 50s, but the creature that anytime any negative energy comes at him, it just makes the creature stronger.
Although it doesn't, it's not that he gets stronger, it's that he returns to this kind of base of support, right? Like, it's not like he gets, he's got...
Well, that's true.
Because I've been watching the World Series, I am aware that because Francisco Lindor stole second base in Game 1, everyone in America gets a free taco at Taco Bell tomorrow. Yeah!
This may look like other tacos, but it doesn't taste like any other. This is Taco Bell's new Taco Light, made with a new light-tasting flaky flour tortilla that lets all the delicious flavors inside come bursting through.
Okay, so I want to talk about, I think this is interesting, and probably there's some truth to it. I had Governor Bill Weldon. He said he thinks there's a hidden Trump vote, people who don't necessarily say that they want to vote for Donald Trump. Also, Alan Dershowitz was just on a couple of segments ago saying when you have a populist candidate, often they're underpolled, and if you look at Brexit, if you look at other populist candidates, and the polls are not necessarily accurate. He could be, instead of behind 2, he could be up 2. He could be up 3.
But we didn't see that in the primaries. In the Republican primaries, the polls actually turned out to be very accurate in terms of Donald Trump's support.
It was different because he was up against.
He had a lot more support, right? But we haven't seen that so far with Donald Trump, is the only point I'm making.
Look, Ed Rendell said it just this week. He said in Pennsylvania he thinks there's a hidden vote for Donald Trump. This is the former governor, a very well-respected Democrat, who says there's a hidden vote for Donald Trump. If that is the case, and what we see is the intensity on Donald Trump's vote is very high right now. He's doing well. He's bringing those Republicans home. He's doing much better amongst the African-American community than Mitt Romney did or John McCain did. He's doing well with Hispanics,
Sorry,
relatively
where's your
speaking.
For that?
Let me read it to you. The Remington Research Poll. Let me give it to you exactly.
The Remington
That's
Research
right.
Poll?
If you look at Real Clear Politics, it's one of the polls that they look at.
But you're choosing one poll.
No, I'm going to read them all to you. I'm going to give it to you.
Finish.
Donald Trump in Colorado is getting 27% of the African-American vote. In Pennsylvania, he's getting 19% of the vote. In Wisconsin, he's getting 22% of the African-American vote. Of those people polled in a poll which Real Clear Politics uses for the poll of polls. So that's my research, unless you have something to prove me otherwise.
Okay, but it just seems to me
more
logical to look at the aggregate of polls
No,
across.
I didn't think so.
Sorry. Don't interrupt
So,
me.
look,
look,
you
sorry,
asked me,
you
I
chose
gave it to
one,
you.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
saying that let's look at this methodologically. You chose one poll and 3 states in that poll. Wouldn't it make more sense to look at the aggregate
What's
of
the
polls,
aggregate
looking
number
at
for
the
among
aggregate number
African-American voters?
I don't have it on top of my head, but
course you
consistently.
don't.
No.
Corey does.
No, he
I have
doesn't
the numbers
actually.
right here.
He's referring to
He's
one
the only
poll.
one with numbers on
He's referring to
African-American voters
multiple
at the
states.
table.
No, you're referring
Multiple
to one
polls.
particular poll. There have been,
Survey
there's been
USA to
news
them.
article after news article after news article suggesting that Donald Trump is actually underperforming that. Now, the question is,
Which article?
The real question
Which
is,
one?
the real question
Which
is,
news article?
Let him finish.
I don't happen
So
to
you're
have.
saying article after article? Give me one example.
The New York
Give me
Times
one.
written about the Washington Post.
Who from the New York Times wrote it?
Hey, listen, Corey, don't give me this nonsense,
Because
okay?
you're full of crap is the problem. I give
Okay,
you the stats,
Corey,
and now you don't
Corey,
have
listen,
anything
I'm not
to
getting
back
paid
up.
by one of the candidates, okay?
Neither am
so
I.
when we're talking about
You know
integrity
why?
here,
Oh my
and I
Because
didn't.
you couldn't get paid by one of the candidates because you have no talent.
No,
to get
actually,
paid by
because
one of
All right,
the
here we
candidates.
go.
I'm a journalist. I
You're
write.
right.
On that note,
Journalist
stand by.
is worse than being paid by a
Stand
candidate,
by.
believe me.
Stand by.
okay.
Stand by.
My choice is between an idiot and a crook. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to vote for the idiot. It's my only choice. That's how a lot of Republicans are thinking. It's offensive to people, I understand. Democrats, though, you're hearing the same thing on the Democratic side.
I am, and I've been trying to figure. I think that's what worried me about the FBI story, and I had so much contortions going on in my brain about this because she should win this election. But I will tell you that story was real, and we have to cover it, and there are real questions, and it is self-inflicted, as I've said, and the reaction to Comey seems so hollow and reactive and borderline dishonest.
Listen, here's my big concern right now is that, and especially with this ABC poll out today, where he's ahead by a point, that I know there's, I've just walking in here, liberals on the streets of New York, Mike, what are we going to do? I said, man, come on, buck up a little bit here. Yes, treat it. I've been saying this for months, right? Trump can win.
Right.
I've been one of the few on the left that's been saying this.
Right.
Okay, now everybody gets it.
Right.
Nobody's sitting back watching us right now going, oh, the heck with all this.
That's right.
Hostile takeover of Donald Trump. His hair has